Yo, what is up, guys? Nick Nakai here, Let's Drift Media. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Really appreciate you guys. And Bald Nakai in the house, starting looking like my first vlogs ever. What's up, guys? Nico here. Today I'm gonna start pulling off my power steering pump on my S14. Fuck that guy. Today's episode, we're gonna be attempting to install my OVERFENDERS on the 240SX. I've never installed OVERFENDERS before, so this is gonna be a first time for me. Saw a couple YouTube videos, so I think I'm ready. So let's go. So we got the compressor right here. This will be our first time trying it out. And I brought the angle grinder home from work to go make the cut. You can see I already got the car jacked up, wheels off. Just gonna cut like a little arc and then hammer up the inside of the fender. Here we got the OVERFENDERS. I'm not sure what size they are. They're like practically free, so I'm just gonna run with it. But yeah, sun's already kind of going down. Hope this goes smoothly. Not sure though if it's gonna mount up. I'm gonna have to probably hit this dent out a little bit so I can at least bolt up to it. So we're gonna see what's up with that. But we're gonna start with the easy side first. Oh, by the way, this is a compressor that you guys saw in my last video. If you go to the reviews, you'll see amazing reviews saying it's quiet as hell. Let's see how quiet this is. I'll be honest, that's pretty loud and not quiet to me, but I don't know. Not bad. Took about, I'd say like 5, maybe 7 minutes tops to fill up to 135 psi. That was pretty cool. Right here you got the adjuster if you want to set to what psi you want your tool at. I'm going to go ahead and crank it to 90. That's what this little right angle grinder calls for. Come on, motherfucker. So now I get that all set up. Let's start drawing our cut line. Alright, so before we get to the cut, I saw a pretty neat trick somebody did on YouTube. I'll drop the link to his video in the description because that was actually a really good video. There we go. So basically you just tie this string or something to the hub or one of the lug studs. That way you get an even marking, whatever you're trying to do. I mean, there's a lot of ways I've seen people cut it. Some people literally just cut like this whole quarter panel off, like all the way back to here. And you could do that. I was gonna do that just because I saw a lot of people do that, but it makes sense, seems easier. Just cut the little arc because you really just want to cut enough so that way once your wheels stick out, they can go up past this point without hitting this, since the OVERFENDERS are gonna stick out to like a little bit further. That way the wheel can still have some room to travel. So, just gonna get your little handy dandy rope, figure out where you want it. I'm just gonna kind of hold it to this edge. That will give me a nice little half moon. So let's give it a shot. Boom, bitches. So now we got our cut line. Let's get to cutting. Alright, so anytime you're going to be using a cutting wheel, grinder, anything, something like that, put on some freaking safety glasses. It can be pretty bad if that blade ever breaks and just goes flying everywhere. I've heard of it happening, never seen it, but still better safe than sorry. I'm gonna rock this. Spirit of COVID. Alright, so I don't know if it's this tool or the air compressor, if maybe this tool draws a lot of air, but this thing cannot keep up. The air compressor can't keep up, the pressure keeps dropping. So it's gonna be a real struggle. I barely cut like through 5 inches and the compressor was almost empty, so not too sure what's going on with that. Alright guys, well, I just about give up. This freaking right angle grinder is just sucking the air out of this compressor. It's supposed to be ran at 90 psi. I was even trying to run it at 60, and I don't know if it's just the small compressor. I thought it'd be big enough. I'm kind of scared now to paint the car with it. Pretty disappointed actually with this compressor, not gonna lie. Thought I would have no problem powering this thing. I'm just gonna save this job for another day, probably tomorrow. I'm gonna bring my electric grinder home. I just need to find the bit to install the cutting wheel. But yeah, this is not doing the job. I've literally waited like an hour almost, like total, just to get this line across. And I just made it from here to here. We'll pick this back up. Alright guys, we are back, day 2. Sorry about earlier. Well, you guys saw that die angle grinder was not working with the compressor. I asked a couple people at work if they had the same problem using an angle grinder, and they all told me the same thing, like it just sucks the living life out of that compressor. So now I got the cutting wheel on my electric grinder. Just found out that you can just stick 2 Allen keys in the holder and put a screwdriver in there and break it loose. I was about to order a new wrench tool, so hopefully this works. Let's get started. So we got that cut, I think. See if we can pop it off. There we go. Boom. Like that. Damn, there's a lot of crap in there. Now I'm just going to try and kind of, damn, there's sick just melted rubber in here. But what I'm going to try and do now is just clean this up a little bit and then cut some slits in, and then from what I've seen they just hammer them up. And a lot of people weld this, but I don't weld, so I don't know how to weld or have a welder. So I'm going to just kind of bring it up, clean it up, and just get the grinding wheel and smoothing it out. So we'll see how that goes. So now we got all the slits. I'm just gonna smack all these pieces up. Alright, so from afar it looks pretty good, not gonna lie, but under here you can tell this is pretty jank boy shit right here. I just ended up cutting too far right here. I wasn't gonna weld it anyways, but now it's definitely exposed to the inside. I mean, I guess none of this really matters because it's all gonna be covered by the overfender, but it's a DIY job. The overfenders will always be covering this, but I did still want to make it look kind of nice. But as you can see, I got carried away with the grinder, which usually happens when I get a hold of that thing. But I'm just going to scuff this up so it's not so sharp and jagged. And that should be it though. So at least a clean circle cut. I feel like I should have just cut the whole thing off, but oh well, this will do for now. Alright, so hopefully this is the last time you'll ever see this spot exposed. I grinded it down, just smoothing it out, and also just put a little primer to prevent rust. Not like I really give a shit about that, but yeah. God, I know this looks bad, guys. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. But anyways, let's get the overfender and we can mock it up, and just gotta drill the holes and put the rivets in and then call it a day, at least for this side. God, guys, you know how sometimes you're doing a job and then you're just like, wow, I fucked up? Yeah, I fucked up. I have this thing too far to the right, and right now, goddamn gas door is not gonna close. What am I doing, Nick McKay? Oh god. So, most likely gonna have to remove these rivets and shift it over a little bit. This is not good, guys. Alright, so I guess this wasn't my fault. I took them all off and I kept trying to move it. No matter where I had it, this freaking gas door does not open. Doesn't matter which way you set it up, it's gonna be tight either way. There's no real way to have it, I guess, to open good. I don't know if this is just a super cheap China kit, which it probably is. It was free, but that's what I get for buying cheap parts. And I guess technically I could modify this, but I feel like it's not gonna look as good if it's just like cut right here. So I'm just gonna deal with that later. Test fitted the wheel and also installed the side skirt. Put some rivets in there. It's looking pretty good. Really can't wait till this thing is one color. You can see back end is thick. Super thick. Thick boys. So not bad. Not bad. I mean, no one's gonna see underneath, thank God. From the outside it looks good. Right now it looks pretty crappy, but obviously it's not painted. But yeah. I don't know if the camera focus in there is pretty dark, but should have plenty of wheel clearance. Right here is where the jaggedy parts are. I mean, it's not that jagged, I sanded it down, but anyway, it's like a good 2 inches up higher. So I'm gonna drop the ride height in the rear a little bit just so I get some more hella flush hot boy fitment right here, but I have no really worries about rubbing up there. So need to figure out obviously how I'm gonna open my gas lid. Probably just tie a zip tie or some jank boy shit right there. But all in all, it's coming together. I really like seeing my car all paneled up. Just got to do the other side, then I can install the rear bumper, and then we'll pretty much be ready for paint. So, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. So, if you made it this far in the video, thank you guys so much for supporting and watching me fail and attempt to do this job. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Glad you guys are liking all the content I'm putting out. I got a couple more automotive related talk videos coming up soon, as well as the raffle. So stay tuned, you don't want to miss that. That's about it. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace!